Ever walked into a spa and thought, I could work here? Well, today's deep dive is for you.
Okay.
We're diving into the world of spa attendants,
Right.
using RoleCatcher's career and interview guides to help you nail that job interview.
It's a fascinating job,
Really?
Yeah, it's a blend of customer service knowledge of wellness treatments
Uh-huh.
and maintaining that oh-so-tranquil spa atmosphere.
So not just handing out like those little fluffy robes that...
Not quite. Think of it as more like you're orchestrating an experience.
Okay.
The guide highlights how spa attendants are kind of like that first point of contact.
Right.
You set the tone for the entire visit.
I see.
That means explaining services, handling bookings, and ensuring each guest feels pampered like they're the only person there.
I can see how that takes a special kind of person, someone who thrives in that environment.
Absolutely, and that's what really shines through in interviews.
Yeah.
RoleCatcher found that over 120,000 potential questions could be asked. But many boil down to assessing those core skills we just talked about.
So it's more than just saying, I love scented candles.
Way more. Imagine you're asked, what are the main responsibilities of a spa attendant?
Okay.
You could mention the obvious, right?
Right.
But this is your chance to demonstrate a deeper understanding.
Give me an example, like how do you go beyond the expected there?
You could say something like, it's about creating a welcoming and tranquil atmosphere for guests, ensuring they feel comfortable and pampered and being knowledgeable about all the services and products offered.
Okay.
Notice how it emphasizes the guest experience and your role in shaping it.
That's a great point. It shows you're not just there to like complete tasks,
Yeah.
but to curate an atmosphere.
Exactly. And this is where RoleCatcher's AI copilot can be a game changer.
Okay.
You can practice this answer, record yourself, and get feedback tailored to specific jobs.
Wow.
Are you applying to a high-end spa?
Yeah.
Copilot will help you refine your language and delivery to reflect that.
That's so smart. It's like having a personal coach to fine-tune your approach.
It is.
But back to the interview. What about those tricky follow-up questions,
Yeah.
The ones that really put you on the spot?
Those are where your real personality needs to shine through.
Okay.
For example, they might ask, can you give me an example of a time you went above and beyond for a guest?
Oh, I'd be so nervous trying to recall a perfect example on the spot.
That's why having a few stories prepped and ready can be super helpful.
Right.
Think about those times you anticipated a need, resolved a tricky situation, or simply made someone's day.
Okay, so I need to channel my inner storyteller.
Yes.
But what kind of stories would really resonate in a spa environment?
Let's say you once helped a flustered customer find the perfect last-minute gift.
Okay.
Or maybe you calmed down a client who was anxious about a treatment.
Right.
These examples showcase your empathy, problem-solving skills, and ability to remain calm under pressure.
Which are all crucial in that setting.
Yeah, you can't exactly lose your cool when someone's complaining about their cucumber water not being cold enough.
Exactly.
Speaking of keeping your cool, another common question is, how would you handle a situation where a guest is unhappy with a service?
Ooh, that's a tough one. It feels like there's a fine line between taking responsibility and accepting blame for something that might not be your fault.
You're right, it's about finding that balance.
Yeah.
You could say something like, I would listen attentively to understand their concerns, apologize for any inconvenience caused, and then see if there's anything I can do to rectify the situation, like offering a complimentary amenity or discount on a future service.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's about demonstrating that you're solution-oriented and prioritize customer satisfaction even in those challenging situations.
Exactly. And this is another area where RoleCatcher's AI can be super helpful.
Okay.
You can practice different responses to this question and get feedback on which ones are most likely to resonate with hiring managers in the spa industry.
It's like having a secret weapon to help you navigate those tricky interview questions.
It is.
So we've talked about showcasing your customer service skills, but what about the more technical aspects of the job? What if they start grilling you about specific treatments or products?
That's where the knowledge part of customer service comes in. The career guide really emphasizes how spa attendants are essentially wellness ambassadors.
So you need to know your stuff.
Yeah.
What if I'm not like a walking encyclopedia of aromatherapy oils and seaweed wraps?
It's more about showing a willingness to learn and a genuine interest in wellness.
I can do that.
Yeah, let's say they ask you, what are your favorite spa treatments and why?
Okay, that doesn't sound too intimidating, but I bet there's a strategic way to answer that, right?
Absolutely. This is your chance to align your personal interests with the spa's offerings.
Right.
Even if you haven't experienced their exact treatments, you can talk about similar ones.
So the spa is really into like Ayurvedic treatments,
Right.
but I've only ever had a Swedish massage.
Right.
I could talk about how much I enjoy the relaxation and stress relief that massage offers.
Exactly, and connect it back to the spa's values by mentioning you're eager to learn more about their Ayurvedic approach.
Okay,
It shows you're invested in their specific brand of wellness.
that's a great tip. Now, what about those questions that feel more like personality tests than actual job interview questions?
Mm-hmm.
You know, the ones that make you wonder if you should be a spa attendant or a therapist.
You're talking about those behavioral questions designed to assess how you handle specific situations.
Right.
The tell me about a time prompts, remember the STAR method we discussed earlier?
Yes.
That framework is your best friend here.
Right. Situation, task, action, result. Like a recipe for a compelling interview answer.
Exactly.
But I always struggle to come up with like relevant examples on the spot.
That's where preparation is key.
Yeah.
Before the interview, think about situations where you've demonstrated skills like problem solving,
Oh.
conflict resolution, or going the extra mile for someone.
So if they ask, tell me about a time you had to deal with a difficult customer,
Yeah,
I should have a specific story ready to go.
exactly. And be sure to choose a story that highlights those desirable spa attendant qualities. Maybe you once had a customer who was unhappy with a product, and you managed to find a solution that satisfied them while staying calm and professional.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah,
It's about connecting your past experiences to the specific demands of the job.
precisely. And this is another area where RoleCatcher can be incredibly helpful.
Okay.
They have this feature where you can input the job description and even the spa's name,
Wow.
and their AI will suggest relevant questions they might ask.
Whoa, that's amazing. So you can practice your answers to questions tailored to that specific spa.
Exactly. It's like having a crystal ball that gives you a sneak peek into the interview.
I like it.
And don't forget, you can also use RoleCatcher to research different spas and get a feel for their company culture values and
Yeah.
even their target clientele.
That's so smart. So it's not just about preparing for generic spa attendant questions. It's about tailoring your answers to each specific opportunity.
Precisely. Because at the end of the day, you want to demonstrate that you're not just looking for any spa job,
Right.
but that you're genuinely interested in working at their spa.
And I imagine that kind of genuine enthusiasm goes a long way in making a good impression.
Absolutely. Remember, the interviewers are looking for someone who is passionate about wellness, committed to providing exceptional customer service, and a good fit for their spa's unique atmosphere and clientele.
It's about showcasing your skills and personality in a way that aligns with their spa's brand identity.
Exactly.
But what about those questions that feel a bit more philosophical?
You mean the ones that really make you think on your feet? Like, if you could create your own spa treatment, what would it be and why?
Yes. Those questions always throw me off guard.
They can be tricky, but they're also a great opportunity to let your personality shine through.
Okay.
Don't be afraid to be creative and have a little fun with it.
So if the spa is all about like natural and organic ingredients, I could create a treatment based on locally sourced herbs and essential oils.
Exactly. And be sure to connect it back to the spa's values and clientele.
Okay.
You could say something like, I envision a treatment that incorporates the healing power of nature using locally sourced ingredients to create a truly unique and rejuvenating experience.
That's a great example.
Yeah.
It shows that you're not just answering the question, but that you're also thinking about the spa's brand identity and target market.
Precisely.
Yeah.
It's about demonstrating that you understand their vision and that you're excited to be a part of it.
Okay, so we've talked about showcasing your customer service skills, your knowledge of the industry, and even your creativity. But what about the more practical aspects of the job? What if they start asking about my experience with cleaning and sanitation?
That's a great question, and it's an important one because maintaining a clean and hygienic spa environment is absolutely crucial.
You're right. No amount of cucumber water can make up for a dirty spa.
Exactly.
Right.
So be prepared to answer questions about your experience with cleaning protocols, handling linens, and maintaining a sanitary workspace.
But what if I don't have a ton of experience in a spa setting? Can I still highlight relevant skills?
Absolutely. Think about times when you've had to maintain a clean and organized environment, whether it was at a previous job, volunteer work, or even just in your own home.
Okay, so I could talk about my experience cleaning and organizing the stockroom at my old retail job.
Exactly. And be sure to emphasize your attention to detail, your understanding of hygiene standards, and your commitment to creating a safe and welcoming environment for guests.
It's all about connecting those transferable skills to the specific demands of the spa environment.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And this is another area where RoleCatcher can be incredibly helpful.
Okay.
They have a whole section in their career guide dedicated to the day-to-day tasks of a spa attendant.
Right.
So you can familiarize yourself with the cleaning protocols and hygiene standards that are common in the industry.
That's so helpful. So I can go into the interview feeling confident and prepared to answer those practical questions.
Exactly. And remember, even if you don't have all the answers, what matters most is demonstrating a willingness to learn and a commitment to maintaining a clean and safe spa environment.
So we've covered a lot of ground here, from handling difficult customers to showcasing your knowledge of spa treatments.
We have.
But what about the elephant in the room, salary expectations? Should I bring it up? Should I wait for them to ask? This is always such a tricky topic to navigate in interviews.
You're not wrong. Talking about money can feel awkward, but it's a crucial part of the job search process.
So how do you recommend approaching this delicate subject?
It's generally best to wait for the interviewer to bring it up first.
Okay.
They usually have a salary range in mind for the position. However, it's smart to come prepared with your own expectations.
So I should do my research on sites like Glassdoor to see what similar spa attendant positions are paying in my area.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That way you'll have a realistic salary range in mind, and you'll be prepared to negotiate if necessary.
Okay, so be informed, be prepared, but let them take the lead. Now, what about those dreaded curveball questions?
You mean the ones designed to see how well you think on your feet? Well, let's explore those next.
Right, hit me with those curveball questions.
Let's say they ask, what's your spirit animal, and how does it relate to your work as a spa attendant?
Wait, really? They'd ask that?
Yeah.
I'd be completely thrown off guard.
You'd be surprised what comes up in interviews these days.
I bet.
But remember, these types of questions are less about the right answer
Okay.
and more about getting a sense of your personality, your thought process, and how well you handle the unexpected.
So it's okay to have a little fun with it, show a little personality.
Absolutely. In fact, embracing the quirkiness of the question can make you more memorable.
Right.
Just be sure to tie your answer back to the job somehow.
Okay, so if my spirit animal is a sloth, I probably shouldn't emphasize its love of napping.
Maybe not. But you could talk about a sloth's calm and peaceful nature, its ability to create a sense of tranquility, qualities that are certainly valuable in a spa attendant.
Okay, I can see how that works. It's about finding those unexpected connections and showcasing your ability to think on your feet. Now, what about those questions that feel more like a test of your values or ethics? Like, what would you do if you saw a coworker doing something wrong?
Those are important questions because they speak to your integrity and your judgment. The interviewer wants to know that you're someone who will uphold the spa's values and act ethically, even when it's difficult.
So there's no room for turning a blind eye in the spa world.
Not if you want to be a valued and trusted member of the team.
That's fair.
When answering these types of questions, it's important to be honest and direct.
Okay.
You could say something like, I believe in doing the right thing even when it's hard. If I saw a coworker doing something wrong, I would first try to address the situation with them directly. If that didn't work, I would escalate the issue to a supervisor.
That shows that you're not afraid to speak up when you see something wrong, but that you're also committed to finding a resolution that's fair and respectful.
Exactly. And it demonstrates that you understand the importance of teamwork in creating a positive and ethical work environment. Remember, these types of questions might not have a right or wrong answer, but they can reveal a lot about your character and your values.
It's about showing that you're someone who can be trusted to make sound decisions and uphold the spa's commitment to integrity. Now, before we wrap up our deep dive, I have to ask about those awkward silence fillers. You know those moments when you feel like you need to say something, but your mind goes completely blank?
Yeah.
Any advice for navigating those potentially interview-derailing silences?
We've all been there. Those moments can feel excruciating.
They do.
But it's important to remember that a little silence is perfectly normal in a conversation.
Yeah.
Take a deep breath, gather your thoughts, and don't feel pressured to fill every second with words.
That's good advice. Sometimes I think we overthink those pauses and end up rambling.
Exactly. It's better to be thoughtful than to blurt out something you don't really mean. If you need a moment to collect your thoughts, you could say something like, "That's a great question. Let me think about that for a moment."
That's a much better strategy than panicking and blurting out the first thing that comes to mind.
Precisely. And remember, the interviewers are human too. They understand that interviews can be nerve-wracking, and they'll appreciate your honesty and authenticity.
So it's about being prepared, being yourself, and trusting that you have what it takes to succeed.
Exactly. And don't forget, RoleCatcher is a fantastic resource for anyone preparing for spa attendant interviews. Their career guide, interview guide, and AI-powered tools can provide you with the insights, practice, and personalized feedback you need to put your best foot forward.
They're like a secret weapon for anyone serious about launching a career in the spa industry.
Absolutely. So embrace the world of wellness, prepare diligently, and go into that interview with confidence.
And remember, a little bit of calm, collected energy can go a long way in a spa setting. That's all the time we have for today's deep dive. We hope you feel empowered to create your own success story in the tranquil and rewarding world of spa services.